This is as much fun as jury duty was for the last 2 days.
However, that
Virtual. They pick the jurors virtual. No, it was not picked. And but it took 2 days. It started yesterday. And we got to the end of the day and picked the 8 jurors. And they said we all had to be born at 8:45 a.m. Case
the next day.
today. So we got on again. And then took one juror at a time into another room and reviewed them, blah, blah, blah.
All right,
So then after.
We'll try it again.
let's try again. Let me see.
Okay, hello everybody again. Welcome to our December. Everybody again. Welcome to our December again. Welcome to our December again. What a way to go out. Huh?
That is crazy.
I don't know what's happening here.
What a
That's
way to go
bizarre.
out. What a way to go out. What a way to go out.
Remember how that used to do that?
We can
I don't even know what that beeping is.
Is it just me over here?
No.
No?
Hold on.
That's kind of an interesting question. Is it just that one microphone? Is it?
It shouldn't be. No, we're both plugged
You
in.
wouldn't think we're all plugged into the same.
Plugged into the same.
Right.
I bet you it's something simple.
But we can't understand why it's doing this. It's a delay and then it's
Know where that-
But it's feedback.
it's triplicating it.
Yeah, it's a feedback delay, so.
It's not. It's
Hi, Jimmy, it's Paula, Hainesport. Hi, good. I'm trying to start our meeting here, and I'm having some technical difficulty with the Liberty system. So once the recording starts and they start talking, I hear them through the computer. So we do the bypass and we plug into the headphones. It's not working, and there's this beep happening.
What if she turns the volume down?
Where's that at?
You know? Turns the volume down on
Oh,
the computer, so you don't hear it.
that's it. It stopped. Oh, no, it's still beeping. Does that matter? Can you hear it?
Just talks.
so then.
Yep, I just unchecked it.
Right.
The speaker on the Liberty system. I think there might be a problem with where the microphone plugs in, that port.
And now a word from us.
Sorry, Jimmy's logging on. He's going to try to fix it.
They had to wait.
Sorry, John.
Say, taxpayers' money and come to an agreement with them.
That's one of the people there.
Right.
Sure they-
They were all worried about all this HR for.
While you're doing that, I'm going to try to fix my...
But then they interview you? No, they didn't do that. But who knows? Because they were skipping all over the place.
Oh, I know why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I need to go back to this,
Yeah.
where this, the controller in the back room?
And hopefully I'll be old enough.
Yeah, I just had to pause and it's just unbearable.
There is.
Do you think there's something in the back receiver box?
You know better. If I went to school with your sister. You of all people.
Stop beeping.
It's a compliment.
You don't think about it.
No, I don't even hear them talking.
Oh my God.
I know.
Should I hear them
Grandson
talking?
is 23 years old.
Now they're back on. Now, nope, I just heard them. Yes, I hear them.
A little room off the elevator.
Yeah, but I don't hear it through the, do I need to hear it through the headphones that are plugged in?
How did the
Oh, my God.
It's not,
All all week. This is the kind of people.
You're gonna pay.
No, they're waiting for us.
You're gonna
I
pay.
feel like that might have just worked. We might be okay, but I don't hear
That's
anything
nice, though.
through the headphones like I normally do.
And they're like, are you coming up to the,
Okay, that's fine, as long as it's recording and I don't hear it.
well, they all got COVID. This year, I didn't go, now Ryan's, and he can drink. They all got the flu.
Yeah.
Well, I already had it.
No, it's,
A lot of them still
I don't hear anything.
in hotel.
Oh, it's headphones, hold on.
Wow.
Oh, I hear it now on headphones, yep.
Wednesday,
Now I hear it.
Tuesday for golf.
Yep.
Thursday, and then Friday they had their meeting.
Right.
Saturday.
Yeah, we'll delete this one.
They all went to.
Yeah, I ain't no fault.
Okay, I can do it.
Now,
Yeah.
I'll just have this.
Why are all
strip
those,
thing in my-
why are all of those off?
It's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
No, I need all of those on.
actually an hour.
Yeah.
Talk in your microphone.
Hello, hello?
Okay,
Testing.
correct.
The night goes on.
Yep. Okay. Yep,
I didn't get any Christmas.
yes, yes.
No?
Nothing. We got one little tree up. It's ridiculous. Now it's gonna rain tomorrow.
And all those channels being gray are okay?
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
I'm letting everybody
Okay,
else on the
perfect.
street put them up.
Alrighty,
Yeah, every house is.
thank you very much, you're the best.
I used to put up a lot of lights.
Bye.
I heard stories about how you would put it
Across the street?
road.
Yep. I'd have
I think
them.
my other issue is the
You
Scotia.
did it, but the
Me and
neighbor.
Andy across the street. He would have.
I'm gonna
So
shut
we
this down.
decided the other night that.
I think I can't share my screen because I got this running.
Okay.
It was
I'm gonna shut it
decided.
off.
While you weren't here, we made the decision.
I'd be happy to do
It was
next year.
unanimous, in
Yes.
fact.
It was absolutely.
Someone
You don't get them off.
You did that, Doc.
Right after.
Well, our language and our
Yeah.
advertising,
Well, it's warmer then, too.
You know, it's only 100 days
We
till
don't have
spring.
people,
And I'm like, I knew
Makes
it.
you think.
It was slipping away, and then we went away.
no one was on, and Deborah was on the last time we were having
For
issues.
Saturday, I'll at least get some. I don't get the cold.
Have somebody else do it.
There's a lot in your neighborhood.
I know. You should have those guys, that
Well,
charge.
I guess right before you, maybe on Craig and all, because when I was making the jug handle, I could see all kinds of lights. Well, you're on that side.
Hammer into your house, the guys you hire,
Yeah,
they let my memory.
there's a new guy in town.
I know, three's a charm.
Is what?
Proverbial.
Oh, is that what they
Okay, I'm ready.
Good to go?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I don't want people around.
Oh, you had to turn the thing off?
All right. So, we've already done the welcomes 1,000 times with the reverb. This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of December 13th, 2022, with instructions for internet access, was included in a meeting notice sent to the Burlington County Times and the Courier Post back on January 6th, 2022, and advertised in said newspapers on January 9th, 2022, and January 12th, 2022, respectively posted on the website and the bulletin board in the municipal building on January 6th, 2022, and has remained continuously posted as required under the statute. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. So the first order would be the flag salute, please. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so need a roll call
Mayor McLaughlin,
here.
Mr. Klaus,
Here?
Mr. Levinson,
Here.
Mrs. Gilmore,
Here.
Mr. Montgomery.
Here.
So, how's it look for our
I
presentation?
think I'm gonna need you to Can I do it during comments from the administrator, please?
You can, and whenever you want.
Thank you.
Okay. So, we have minutes to approve, the approval of regular committee meeting minutes of November 10th, 2022.
So moved?
Second?
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
So since I was not here for a portion of the meeting, I'm going to have to abstain.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. Sergeant Antonucci, would you like to come up and speak?
I think those technical difficulties were me last time, though. I don't know that it was,
My turn.
it was the township, though.
It's my turn.
All right, good evening, everyone. I have nothing major to report in regard to crime. The vehicle theft and burglaries are still a statewide issue that we're dealing with. The catalytic converters, just remind everybody to lock your cars, don't leave them unattended, don't leave any valuables in plain view, store them in a trunk, because they just break windows now that they don't even try unlocked doors. So, also there was like a grandparent bail scams. Usually involves a caller advising a victim that a loved one is in some sort of legal trouble and they need to provide cash for bail. And usually these scams typically target the elderly, who are particularly vulnerable and trusting of callers. So in New Jersey and a lot of states now, there is no cash bail anymore. It's been like that for, I think, since 2017. So please, anybody receives those kind of calls or anything like that, don't fall victim to it. Troopers from Borntown Station have attended several events. We were at the Veterans Day Appreciation Luncheon and the annual Christmas tree lighting and the parade. It was a great time, and thank you for inviting me. Or not inviting me, inviting
We
us.
did invite you.
I know.
You just don't come.
And that's all I have. If there's any criminal activity or suspicious activity, don't, please call us so we can come out and investigate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
She said there's nobody online? Paul?
No.
Okay. So next is comments from the public.
Reports.
Oh, yeah, we're
Do the
going to
reports.
do the reports, see that? So we need to approve the tax collector, code enforcement, fire official, instruction, emergency service, and we just had the New Jersey State Police in-person report. Need to approve those?
I'll make that motion that we.
Second?
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. So now we have public comments from the public, and it's for items that are on this agenda only. Any takers? Wow. Okay, once, twice, gone. Close that. We have ordinance 2022-8, amends section 104-34 of the code of the Township of Hainesport, entitled Schedule of Fees and Escrow Sums.
Motion to approve?
Open the
I think they have to have a public hearing.
We're going to have open it for a public hearing. John, could you explain that to the audience? I see Paul is
Sure.
setting us up.
We had a request for a road vacation, and when you have a request for a road vacation, it takes time, and it takes some review by me, by the planner, maybe the engineer. If you go forward with it, sometimes you want to include a meets and bounds description of the road that's being vacated. And so, and yours to the benefit of the property owners who are each side of the road, because a road, if you think this is a road, when it's vacated, that folds back to the properties on each side of it. So there was one in particular that came up that called for some time on our parts. And so we decided, you know what, it's not uncommon, other towns have it, let's put a provision in there where someone's going to make an application for consideration by the governing body that the road that they live on, and so they're usually paper streets, right? I mean, sometimes they're not, but mostly they're paper streets. Then these were fees that we picked up elsewhere. And then I also noticed that we didn't have anything in our ordinance for zone change. And sometimes people say, you know, I'd like to have my zone changed from, you know, PO to R3, whatever, right? You know, again, that's going to take review by your professionals. So why should the taxpayers pay for that, right? They should post an escrow because presumably they're going to benefit from it if they get the zone change. So that's what this is about.
Okay, so committee, what's your pleasure?
We got to open to the public.
I'm going to open to the public. Yes, anybody have any public comments about adjacent owners sharing in the expenses of road vacations, so the town doesn't get sort of stuck paying the bills? Nobody has a comment?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion then, if there's no other public.
I'll second.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. In the resolution section, we have three tonight, first being 2022-143-12. This is something that's done just about every year where funds are sort of transferred from one line item to another. If there's an overage to maybe where there's an underage, such as maybe fuel this year, moving some money to the fuel account from another account that may have a balance in it.
I knew you were going to say that.
Anybody would
I'll
like
make a
to
motion.
approve that?
I'll second the motion.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. Next is Resolution 2022-144-12. This is to approve some firefighters into the New Jersey State Firemen's Association. Glenn A. McNally Jr., Joshua C. Abbott, and Louis K. Hirschline are the inductees. And what's your pleasure on that?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Thank you for volunteering. Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. So, the last resolution authorizes a new signer of checks for Hainesport checking accounts. And it's Dawn Gorman,
Or see
CFO.
our new CFO.
Yeah.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. We have some business licenses to approve tonight.
I don't have that.
Okay,
On mine.
Vital Performance Therapy and Salad Works has a new owner.
Oh, there it is. I opened up the wrong page.
What's your pleasure on that,
I'll make a motion.
committee?
Yep. Second?
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. Paul, are you ready to go, or should we move the comments to, from the public?
Comments to the public.
Okay, so we're going to open it up to comments from the public. You feel free to speak about anything that you wish. Come on up, Anna.
Anna Evans, 63 Parry Drive. So I'll save the big speechifying for January, but I just wanted to say that I'm honored and humbled to have been elected to serve Hainesport to the Hainesport Township Committee. It's been something I've been working for 7 years, and every time I lost, or one of my candidates lost, I consoled myself with the thought that I was doing something good for Hainesport just by showing up. Just by showing up. I used to call myself the loyal opposition. I think you've heard me use that phrase a couple of times. But it's going to be different now. I'm going to be on that side of the dice. And so I just wanted to let you know that I will be resigning from the Hainesport Democrats as a chair. I've thought about this, and I don't think it's right for me to try and represent all of the residents of Hainesport, including the ones who didn't vote for me, while I'm also the leader of a partisan group. So as of January the 1st, I'm still going to be a Democrat, don't get me wrong, but I'm stepping down from that leadership position. And apart from that, I just can't wait to join you all, and everyone have a very happy Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Anybody else? Come on up.
Deborah Harris, 7 Elsinore Drive. So I'm sure it'll come as no surprise that come January, I'll be stepping into the role as chair of the Hainesport Dems. So look forward to seeing you all in the new year as I step into Anna's really big shoes. Even though they are kind of like really tiny, they still are really big. So congratulations to the winners of the election, and looking forward to everything that this committee will do in the new year. Really love the socks, by the way. So I told Anna that I was going to call out the socks. They're candy canes, and they're just like really festive. The scarf as well. So whoever has like hidden holiday stuff, I think it's wonderful. Happy holidays to all. Looking forward to, again, the new year with a new committee. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? You want to keep going, or you want to
I'm ready.
move in with the presentation? Okay, so we'll interrupt the comments. John, you're just going to have to wait
You want to close the
for
comments?
your
I think you-
comment.
Well,
You want to close- you want to close the public comments?
Yeah,
for
Want to
now.
close the public comments and then we go in?
that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Were you ready to go, to move ahead?
Sure.
Okay. So, is there anybody else that has a public comment? Anything to say? Nothing? Okay. So, we're going to stop the comments, and we're going to move into this presentation that Paula has put together.
Thank you. So, as you know, because you guys authorized us venturing into this rebranding journey, before that was the mobile app, which we have launched, and it's been quite a success. Next final phase is the rebranding journey. So this has been about a year-long process. Jen in the office has been an integral part of it, as well as Committeewoman Gilmore has been involved. We did receive community input, as well as municipal employee input, as well as governing body input, and that helped frame the brand, the start of the branding process, as well as the logo. So I'm going to go through the 3 phases of the rebranding process and how we finally came to a final logo or a brand, and then there's some options for taglines. So it's come a long way. And I just want to also say we received our planner's input on this as well. And he helped with the final product. So Gruskin Creative is the company that we contracted this out to. As human beings, we are biometrically engineered to look for and remember what is different, and the job of a good designer is to create a brand that not only stands out, but communicates the essence of the entity clearly and cleverly. We especially loved working on this brand because of the natural identifier that has served that role for Hainesport for decades, if not centuries. The Rancocus is that identifier and provides the perfect opportunity to create something special and unique to all other brands in New Jersey. So this was the start. Obviously, they took the municipal complex as being the focal point. We felt that this had too much going on here and would not copy well on our print materials, as well as anything that we wanted to put on our walls, or any other kind of materials. Too many windows, too much going on. So then there's another color version of it. Back in the back is really where they captured the Rancocus, the north and the south branch of the Rancocus, which I think the communities, with everybody's input, we've identified that that is one major thing that makes Hainesport stand out, is the fact that it has both branches of the Rancocus. And then they also started capturing the park. That was another sentiment of the community's input, was, the municipal park is a focal point. It's a gathering place for not only families, but people from outside of the community. Agencies come here often, people meet, friendships, organized sports, passive recreation, active recreation, all age groups. So as we went through this process, it was very obvious that the park as well as the Rancocas were the two of the focal points. This was a no. Felt like it was a 70s Pib 7-Up, a little bit of a feel. I don't know. And the kind of, I don't know. I'm not really describing it well. The colors were too muted. It really just didn't give. It wasn't a POW. And the orientation of the Rancocas was wrong. Is wrong. Backwards, yes. So those were the first iterations. This one got a little closer. I think that everyone liked the kind of regalness of this. The font in itself is a strong font. I think it pays homage to a little bit of historical feel. But again, the Rancocas orientation is wrong. So part of the branding is also kind of segmenting off the beginning, and this can be used as the center of letterhead or the side of any kind of print material. So you'll notice that in other corporate logos. There's also a abbreviated version that you can kind of cut off of the long main one. So that was the first iteration. We told them definitely needed work to do. So the second round, which was in July, it came back with some modifications. That was the original horizontal version. So here's where they finally started getting a little bit more creative. Based on the feedback from everybody, we felt that we should still be paying homage to the history of Hainesport, which is the seaport, which is the ports of Hainesport, the steamboats. So you see they integrated the H, they have smokestacks here, and then they have the wheel. This is representation of family or people gathering, children, adults.
They're not bowling pins?
They're not bowling pins. The orientation of the Rancocas is correct. There's a bridge in the back, and that is supposed to be trees.
Ship. The bridge,
Ship.
the ship.
Ship or a bridge, I don't know. You'll see, though, bear with us. And then this is supposed to be water. So this is the abbreviated version. No color yet, because they wanted to first get our feedback on this before they started integrating. And they also, at this phase of it, they said, understand that what you see now is much different once there's color involved. It's a much different perspective. All right. So here's where we are. Now this final phase includes the taglines. Let me get my notes for it. And this is really where Scott's input came in place. So here, let me try to make that bigger. They eliminated that boat or bridge from the background as well as the watermarks. They also put in some color variation of the Rancocas, and they shortened the North Branch, so it's not so long and ribbony. That was kind of what we felt like. The colors they're vivid, they're bright. We like the color variation in the Rancocas. I think the trees, I'm a little stuck on the trees, the amount of trees in the background. They almost look like bushes. And I think we lose sight of the fact that this is supposed to be our park. It's supposed to kind of give us a park feel.
When you say you're stuck on it, Paul, do you mean you're
I'm not a
stuck?
fan of it
You don't
personally.
like it?
I don't think that this reflects what everyone's input was and what we were communicating with them, as well as Scott's feedback as well. That's what it would look like on, when we just slide things through the copier, what it's going to look like in black and white, because obviously not everything that we do is in color. And then there's the short and condensed version. So that's where we're at, but I do want to offer, now this is Hainesport's logo, but I do want to offer my opinion that I think that the trees, and Scott's, the trees in the background can be modified to something a little bit more singular, not as spread out in the background.
Looks like a river bank.
How married is everyone to the smokestacks? Since we're talking about the trees.
Well, I think one of the biggest parts of the feedback that we received is that, you know, there's a significant sect in the community that wants to not forget Hainesport's history. So I think that they were trying to capture that and then also bring it in to reflect what today's community
Right, agreed. Agree 100%.
sees Hainesport and what's important to today's community. And I think that based on everybody's input was, you know, it's a strong family community, it's a strong school community, it's a strong community financially. And those things can be expressed not just by objects or, you know, clip art, it's also in the font, it's also in the color. Those things can be expressed in other ways. The strength of the community can be expressed through the font as well as the coloring. There's so much to it. It was a really cool learning experience. I also think maybe the Rancocas, the actual depiction of the Rancocas can be maybe scaled down a little bit, not so ribbony.
What do,
Scott felt that way too. But we only have one more shot at any kind of modifications because the contract was very specific as to how many times we can keep going back and making alterations.
so I don't know what everybody else thinks, but the green there looks like a river bank to me. And perhaps just a tree or two trees or, you know, a lollipop tree and maybe a Christmas tree shape might be better behind there, just two things, rather than all of that. But that's just my opinion.
It's good feedback.
It'll open it up a little bit more white.
Can I give you some of the taglines too to go with it? So maybe that might help frame the whole.
Are those, somebody mentioned smokestacks, are those goalpost smokestacks?
Yeah, see, that's my sticking point there.
You're such an athlete.
He said they're smokestacks.
Yeah.
There's smokestacks
You see goalpost?
from the steamboats.
Goalpost because
That's not a goalpost.
Right.
But you have the paddle wheel. The paddle wheel, so
Yeah.
steamboat. The
Yeah, I'm not-
smokestacks are more of a, you have to explain it to somebody.
It's a factory look to me, which is what I like the history, I like the port part, like the wheel, the old steamboat, I liked, it's just really hard to capture it. I know that they're trying to tie in, and being in sales and marketing for most of my adult life,
Yep.
I understand we're trying to tie it in, the past, the present, and then the stacks are great with the H, right? We can tie it into the, to me, I don't know what they are, and I figured it out, but then smokestacks, and then it's like when people don't, when I hear a smokestack, I think of a factory, and I don't think of I just don't think of a steamboat.
But do you get the steamboat with the wheel? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I would be closer to that than the smokestacks, because if I don't get the wheel, at least I don't think of a factory, because we're not a factory town, we're not an industrial town, and to me, and I get it tying in with the H, I do, and I like the fact that, but I just, to me, I'm really stuck on those stacks. That's just me, everyone else.
Would the paddle wheel look better in black and just make the H and H?
Say that again?
Make the paddle wheel in black. I mean, that's a paddle wheel, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so just make it stand out more as a paddle wheel, so people will maybe understand it as a paddle wheel and just leave the H and H.
Okay.
And I guess before, and I'm sure, well, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I'm sure most will agree, is a lot of work, and we certainly appreciate the work that was put into this, and going through it all, and going back and forth, and tying it in, and asking people, getting their opinions, and trying to tie it all together, and tabulating all these responses, and trying to figure out what most of the people who responded liked and disliked, and wanted to see, and et cetera. So I get all that, and I appreciate that, and I'm sorry, I'm just stuck on those smokestacks.
Paul,
Yeah, I agree.
Jerry and I are over here commiserating.
Oh, boy.
What about the paddle wheel in the O?
In the O?
That kills, that's the port, and you're done.
Ah,
What's that?
You're done. It's just an idea.
Say it again?
A paddle wheel
The
inside.
paddle wheel in the O.
you make
That's
the O a paddle wheel.
And that's in the word port.
And that says it, I mean,
there
it
you
says
go.
it
That
says
could
it all.
You could actually,
Do it with the township?
you could actually have the
keep going.
sticks be in the opposite color through the O, but then have it reversed where the rest of the wheel goes on the inside. You know how they reverse it?
That kind of addresses
If you
the,
overlay the wheel
Yep.
over top the O, where the wheel goes over the O, it's white,
Yep.
and where it doesn't inside, it's purple.
and now you've kind of characterized the seagoing
History.
history of our town with the paddle wheel and coming up here with, a lot of that was, I guess some of the Smith freight came out of there from the Smith Mansion, came down here, and this was an actual stop.
And then I'm also hearing, define the trees more singular,
Right.
one or
Well,
two
you
trees.
can kind of do what you want
not
on
like a
that
big
side
bush.
of it, because you've already identified the
Yeah.
heritage of the sea,
Okay.
or not the sea, but the water.
I think that's great
if you will.
feedback. And then the tagline options, we went through a lot, and these were the top ones, the top three. Where community flourishes, growing stronger together, strong foundation, lasting future. And then some alternate options, strong community, big heart, rich history, bright future.
Can we just say, great town, don't tell nobody? Because that was really a lot of the things that came back.
Don't
They
tell-
they really
don't tell
said,
nobody.
it's a great
True. That was in the feedback
I know.
by quite a few people.
Yeah.
The hidden gem,
Great town.
Right.
the hidden gem.
Yep.
So, how do you feel about the taglines? I mean,
Rich history, bright future.
I lean more to that, actually, and I like strong community, big heart.
Bright future.
I like rich history, bright future.
Yeah, I would lean towards, if that's what, I'm okay with either 4 or 5 myself, but
maybe what we'll do, maybe what we could do, is put out a little survey
To the community.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
through the app, through the website. We'll do a Google thing. We'll
Multiple
figure out how
choice.
people can't vote more than once. Maybe we can get the community involved in the tagline part
That'd be a great
as a
idea.
phase, step 2. We got the input through the surveys,
Right.
and now we can do this with the tagline. Okay.
That's good.
Let me check.
thank you.
All right, so I'm going to, just to be clear, I will go back to Gruskin Group, who, by the way, were at the League of Municipalities. They're also the sister group of the company that did our mobile app, and they had a table set up, and they had Hainesport as part of their display, our mobile app, so it was.
Oh, I didn't
cool.
s- oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
Vicki
see
was
that.
there.
Oh, I
The
missed
lady
that.
behind the screen that I've been meeting with, we've been meeting with for a
Oh.
year, she was actually physically there, so it was kind of cool to connect with her and see our work on the screen. So the wheel itself, we're going to go back, we're going to put that on the O with port. Stacks, we're going to remove those. Leave the H and H. We'll modify the trees to make them more singular trees. And maybe transpose the wheel and the O so that the color is
Ken,
in the O.
suggestion
Okay.
is, Bev Blush designed
Right.
the tree when we started the Education Foundation.
Ah, yes, yes.
And, you've now addressed, that tree is very
Majestic.
educational looking tree, sort of comes around. Maybe you can,
Where is that?
it's the
Yeah, I can send it
Education
to you.
Foundation logo.
Okay.
So really,
send it
it just, it looks like a tree of learning. She did a great job.
Yeah.
Well, and that would be good because the present logo came from a contest at the school
Right.
50 years ago, was it, or whatever?
Right.
But-
Uh,
but- no,
1978.
There was no contest.
Yeah, there was a.
It was.
It
was
in the
two people.
newspaper and everything.
Huh, for
The
the,
logo.
That one big tree there
There
with
were two
kind
people
of,
put together.
oh, the school.
Yeah.
and I don't know if you need to tie in the H's to the trees. I don't know if you
Yeah.
need to do that. Maybe have it in the background like that is. The other thing is that no one mentioned, is that our colors have typically been green. So it looks like we're moving from that.
Colors
How's that going to
blue.
impact the school?
Yeah,
Well, the
Right, so,
The school's the school and the town's the town.
Right.
They don't
Township
have,
colors were blue and white.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
kind of gone back and forth over
Has
the
it?
years.
Okay.
It really has. And so once the final product is in place, they are going to put together a marketing packet for us with clear rules on what we can and can't do with our logo, like deviations. in
Protect
terms
the
of
brand,
colors, right. Which we will use as staff members, you know, what we can and can't do with it, what we can't do in terms of variations, colors, or modifications of it.
taking parts of it, using a
Correct.
portion of it, not the whole thing.
They're
yeah.
going to own the logo?
No, it's going to be ours, but they're going to provide us with a guideline and a framework on how to properly deploy the logo in our day-to-day operations.
Would we be copyrighting it? Because I see all these people printing up high school shirts, and I often wonder, how come high schools don't copyright their brand?
We do. We have. But I think there was case law that,
It's a question about how enforceable it is.
right.
Okay.
So, and if it's okay, I'm going to ask them to maybe change the depiction of the Rancocas a little bit.
Well, that little
I feel like
loop,
it's a little,
that little loop right under the E there is a little,
Makes it
distracting.
feminine.
it's too distracting.
Just makes it too feminine.
yeah.
I think it's too literal. I think maybe they were actually taking.
Is that what the Rancocas looks like?
I think so.
That's kind of cool, though. But
It doesn't look like a ribbon, though, which is good.
Versus
I'm
low
okay either way. I don't,
Okay.
Low
it doesn't,
tide.
I mean, again, it's not all about me, but I'm just voicing my
Can
opinion.
we add a snapping turtle to it?
There you go.
Ah, there you go. The hawk.
Yeah.
What if we were to put a hawk? What if we were to put a hawk in the
Oh,
background?
then
Yeah.
there'll be hunters. and
By a tree, just a bird. It doesn't have to be a hawk, just a bird, right? That's what the school is, the Hawks. Is that crazy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it? Is that, okay, all right.
And I do have a report. Can I report out as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so the storm pipe at 22 Bancroft Lane, which has been an issue since 2011, is finally being replaced this week. The contract is locally funded through our capital budget and was awarded to Macros Contractors, and we do expect that to be completed within 1 to 2 weeks. I was informed by email through the state's grant system that Hainesport was awarded another $226,000 in municipal aid funds for road improvements
Nice.
to Pulaski Avenue, Laurel Ridge, and Fenimore Roads. This grant supplements the prior year $185,000 DOT award, which gives us $411,000 total to refurbish those 3 local residential roadways.
Good job, Paul. Very
Yep,
nice.
you.
thank you, Paula.
Prior to the second award, we were planning to leverage the significant balance through our capital funds. I expect now with the second grant that that'll be reduced to maybe $20,000, $30,000. Unfortunately, we cannot apply professional fees to these grants. I do expect the bid for this work to be advertised sometime around February, and I also want to remind the governing body, we still have Arc Road to do, and the engineer that has had it for quite some time, so I need to follow up with them, and that was Turek Consulting out of Morristown. The LSRP for Paul's Tank Farm property had a site visit this past November to finally begin the required remedial investigation and regulatory filings that are required prior to the EPA-funded physical cleanup and capping of the site to begin. So we're getting started on that. I want to finally end by saying that it has been a pleasure working with Mayor McLaughlin over the past 3 years. I value his knowledge of Hainesport governance. I have appreciated his trust in me, especially the unfettered ability to manage the day-to-day operations and his genuine care for Hainesport Township residents and businesses. So best of luck to you after this closed chapter in your life, to you, and just as importantly to Laura. So thank you.
Thank you.
And Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, and see all of you on January 3rd. Thank you.
Okay, you're up, John.
Just a couple of things. One, I want the record to reflect that half of the monies in that transfer resolution came out of legal, not into legal. Two, echo Paula's comments to the mayor.
Good job, John, thank
Best
you.
luck. Best
Thank you.
luck. Thank you.
Yep.
And three, have a wonderful holiday. Happy holidays.
Okay, comments from the committee. We'll start with Ken tonight, on the left.
Okay. Just a little disturbed about the squatters situation, and I know that's an ongoing thing. We've had an issue with here before, and, it looks like this time we've had more information faster, and the community has stepped up faster, and it looks like there's more involvement, which is very helpful, because we're so limited on what we can do as a township, which is so frustrating. And so thank you, Paul and Tara, for working with all this. Great work on the branding work. Hopefully these suggestions we can wrap this up. When I look through the bills, which we're going to get to in a little bit, I just go through and I look at large numbers. And each time, the largest number are our schools, our Hainesport Elementary, Middle School, and the contribution to the Rancocas Valley Regional High School. It's over $1 million every month. And this is and I'm not complaining, we have great schools here, and I have 4 very successful college students, Hainesport grad, RV grads, from that education. I just want to point out is that we're charged, as a township, we're charged with collecting that money for the school, so it's over $1 million a month. The township actually takes 13% of that total tax bill to run the town. That's what that is. So it's really 70% of the schools. So I just looked through that, and it's just like, wow. So, you get what you pay for. We have to take care of our children. We have to take care of the schools. And even if you don't have children in the schools anymore, like I do not, good schools build good communities. And just a firm believer of that. I want to welcome Dawn Gorman. I was able to be on the interviewing committee with committee woman Leila Gilmore and Paula and some other folks. So wanted to welcome her. Great job, Paul, on the grant, getting more of that money for the roads. My neighbor, Ann Evans, has put a hard-fought battle, and so good job by her, kudos. And I'm going to really miss Mayor Bruce McLaughlin, and as Paula has said, just his institutional knowledge of our town, and is just so important. I've learned a whole lot in my almost just about 2 full years here, and I want to thank you, and we'll miss you, and known you for a long time, and appreciate your, it's basically volunteering, really, when it's all said and done, so thank you for your love of our town. And want to congratulate Leila as well. Holy cow, forgot that. And Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, and God bless.
Sure.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Anna and Leila. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to continuing working with Leila. But I want to talk about Bruce a little bit, okay? Bruce took me under his arm. He taught me. He taught me everything I pretty much learned, and I looked up to him in doing so. So I find it, how do I put this? His business knowledge and financial knowledge put this town, he's been here, what are you on committee, 18 years?
I think
That's why we have a sound fiscal surplus, and that's why everything in this town runs good, and he's going to be truly missed. So with that, we're going to have him stand up, and got you a little something here. We do. Had to hide it. Okay? So So I'd like to honor Mayor McLaughlin. You want to, up here? That's good.
Yeah, we can go to,
What do you want, it's your pleasure.
Unless you want to get a picture.
Okay. Well, this is for his leadership and dedication during 18 years of public service to Hainesport community, December 13th, 2022.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Oh, it's upside down. Huh?
Yeah.
Shaking your hand.
Yes, thank you.
Picture?
All right.
Yeah.
Very nice.
the chair out of the way?
Leave that there.
Yep. Yep. Spelled my name wrong.
Ba-dum-bum.
Listen, you guys have to be worried about if it's too close or too far now.
All right, great.
All right,
Thank you
cool.
very much, everybody.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Thank
Yep. All right, where'd my chair go?
you. Right here. Here you go, boss.
Oh. Good.
Yeah, I just want to say, I truly mean that, because this town, I don't think there's another town in the good financial shape as we have. We have no debt. Here's a mayor leaving. We have zero debt. We have a great fund balance, and we're in great shape. I mean, you should be proud of yourself for how you steered the ship. And it was a paddle boat, but.
I haven't said my speech yet. No, but
You're going last.
Leila?
Okay, so.
Thanks, Jerry. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
We had a very good last couple of weeks with the recreation. They had a gingerbread house contest. They expanded on it this year. It coincided with the firehouse selling their Christmas trees and poinsettias. And the kids were over in the firehouse making crafts, and there was a choir that came in. Actually, there was more than one that came in. A dance troupe came in. The gingerbread houses, there were 16 of them this year on display, and there were 6 winners. One was better than the next one. There's no competing.
Really great, yeah.
They did a great job. And as far as the lights are concerned, I wish more people would participate with the decorating contest. There's a whole lot more houses out there that are decorated and really look beautiful. We did get to certain areas. First place this year was 1326 Wood Green Lane. Second place was 208 New Jersey Avenue, and third place was 115 Washington. Unfortunately, 9 Chaucer Circle was a late entry, and not a lot of people had it on their list to go to. It's adorable. It's a brick home that they outdid. It looks like a giant gingerbread house. It's worth it to go look at in Sage Run. But that's not Sage Run. It's Creekview Lakeside. I don't know which one is Lakeside Creekview. Just fabulous. So the people of Hainesport do decorate, and it's worth it to go out, bring your family out, take a ride. On another note, besides Bruce, we all going to miss you greatly, and it was a good run, and enjoyed working with you, and there's a whole lot of words to say, but you know how I feel.
I'm not moving out yet.
Thank God.
I'll still be in town.
That's good. And congratulations on your award down there in Texas.
Oh, thank you.
That was really something.
Win some, lose some.
I don't know about this.
Yeah, we were, our company, I'll let you talk. I'll get into that as long as it came up. Okay.
Good. On another note, U.S. News has issued their 2023 top law firms in New Jersey and top lawyers, and that Parker McKay is listed as number 3.
All right.
And
But number 1 in our hearts.
There you go.
But on a side note, our solicitor, Mr. John C. Gillespie, was listed as one of the top municipal attorneys, and we would like to congratulate him and
This is
give
in the
him a little
country, correct?
something to acknowledge.
Yeah, this is in the country.
In the country?
Yes,
Oh,
In
my.
the US of A.
yes.
Wow.
I knew I liked you for some reason. I was just trying to...
And that makes him the best attorney in New Jersey.
I would never kiss the ring again. However, this is with love and affection, and I hope you place it prominently upon the wall of your office.
Wait till you guys see this.
Are we going to see this, or...?
You got to pass that show, though. Oh, my God, that's hysterical.
Oh, congratulations.
Hainesport gets the best.
Thank you very much.
That's great.
We worked on that very hard.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good one.
Are we going to share the secret with everyone, or we...
Of course.
Yeah, show the,
Just set it out there for
show
us.
the audience.
It's a godfather. It's a depiction of a godfather from the movie with John's head.
We did a little editing. We did a little photo editing.
I guess we should have asked that first, right?
See, we're allowed to have some fun, too. It's not all business.
Thank you so much.
I'm getting so
great.
good at all
In
this
love.
technology stuff, it
That's great.
legitimately took me 2 minutes to do that, so.
Hours.
No. That would not happen. I do not have hours, but that was worth it. Congratulations, Sean. That was pretty cool.
Yes.
It's very cool.
Thank you. So it's great to know that we have the best solicitor in New Jersey working for us. We appreciate it.
Yes.
So,
So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the League of Municipalities Convention in Atlantic City and a few other things. So I attended the League of Municipalities Convention in Atlantic City, and there I sat in on a meeting detailing the precarious state of our volunteer fire and EMT folks. My takeaway was that there must be continuous solicitation to acquire those needed to staff both. Also, extra incentives may be required to retain and encourage on-call participation. There, agreements with local towns, which we already have, were stressed as a way to, in effect, increase our fire and EMT staff. At the meeting, I learned that some towns have totally surrendered their staff and equipment for third-party providers, or to third-party providers. These towns are now at the mercy of these profit-driven providers, and the profit motive often results in an increased response time because they don't have the same interest as a town fire and EMT staff would have. So I personally would not suggest this third-party direction, and I'll be providing the pamphlets collected to our fire chief to be shared with our EMT personnel. So right now, Hainesport is in a precarious position with regard, and we need to provide other means of revenue if we can't find volunteers, so that if we need to hire a volunteer, or not hire volunteers, hire staff, which would be for fire and EMT personnel, which of course does require revenue. So that's something that we as a township, we as a committee, should always be pursuing ways to bring in additional income to our town, thereby deferring any increase in our taxes. Anna, you have grit, and that's to be respected for sure. I'm going to wish the winners the very best, first of all for themselves, and also for the benefit of Hainesport. And Bruce, you have been a tremendous asset to Hainesport over the course of the years. And I think your guidance has led this town in a wonderful direction where we are in a wonderful position. And I hope that we as a township committee can continue to learn from the past which is some of the lessons that you've taught us with regard to running this township in a humane way, but also in a way that respects the taxpayers. And I'll leave it at that. Let me see if there's anything else I wrote here. Oh, also, I have participated in the past in the tree lighting ceremony, which is really a lot of fun. And unfortunately, this year I wasn't unable to due to another commitment, but I did bring a new volunteer in to kind of take my place, and I also want to thank other people for participating in the event. The more participation we have, the better the events for all of Hainesport, and it certainly makes it easier on the rest of us that are trying to run these things and make it a good time for Hainesport. So I want to wish everybody happy holidays, no matter what holiday is celebrated, and for those who don't celebrate holidays, at least a happy season. Just enjoy it and realize that we're all on earth for a short period of time, and we're all special in our own way. That's all. Thank you.
Two things. Mr. Lontoc, his two daughters volunteered for the fire department and the EMTs.
Yes,
And
so,
who was that other volunteer that you brought on to the tree lighting?
yeah, I'm not sure she wanted to be mentioned, but I'll give her a call anyway. First of all, Mike, I want to thank you for your wonderful daughters. They participate in virtually everything. You raise good kids, and that's a reflection of their parents. Not here at the moment because she is in Florida, where her son just became a physician assistant, so he just got coded, which means they get the white coat, and they become a real physician's assistant. So her name is Elizabeth Gallagher. Her son is Tommy, her husband is Tom, and Elizabeth will be hopefully a regular volunteer with more and more of our events, and hopefully we'll see her out there more participating. Anytime we can get participation, whether it's the people in the audience providing their input or people who are involved in making our events special, even more special than they already are. And we have a lot of events in Hainesport, and they're really a lot of fun. So just encourage participation, whether it's in the audience or for one of our events. We'll all have a good time together, and we'll get to know one another as people and not as adversaries. I think it's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
Okay, that leaves me.
Yep.
All right. So I was thinking back how I became involved in Hainesport, and believe it or not, there was a huge outcry because Creekview was being developed in a residential manner, and the commercial component of what Creekview now is was basically being eradicated. So it was a huge outcry. I'm not going to get into political parties here, that the people in power were giving up commercial ratables for the sake of residential ratables. And there was a lot of screaming and yelling, and it was in the street building over there, and I think Public Works was in the shed behind there. I think we had 2 dump trucks and a couple lawn mowers. That was our entire, repertoire of equipment. And they're yelling, and Bill Betcher was there, Tom Charrier, Ron Korn, and they're looking down at it. There was just some tables telling the residents they're a bunch of idiots and this and that, and I was like, I don't believe this. It's like, I was like, I can't believe it. I was so hooked, it was like coming to the Jerry Springer show every week. And, but I do remember one thing from Bill. Anyway, short time later, I was basically asked out to lunch out of town by those 3 guys. And I was basically interviewed because Paul Tuliano was coming off the committee and becoming our administrator. Some of you may remember Paul. I think Anna, you were. I know Steve, you've been around. You guys, and they were looking for somebody to fill his term. So I was retired. I had sold a company, a pretty decent-sized business. I think I was about 42, 43 years old. So here I am after being an employer of 125 or so people. I'm being interviewed in a diner in Mount Laurel somewhere. And I'm like, told them, listen, guys, I believe in your cause. I'm a loyal kind of guy. I'm not a play-along kind of guy. And they said, well, yeah, we look, okay. So a week or so later, I get a call. They'd like you to go on the committee and to fill Paul's unexpired term. And I'm like, I don't know. And my wife was listening, and we were unemployed. I mean, we weren't destitute by any means. And and I think Bill or Ron said, but you get health benefits. And my wife overheard it and said, get over there. You know what I mean? So, good things become bad things. Of course, we all know how the health benefits went. They got expensive. Certain people wanted to hide it, and it became a football, and the health benefits had to end. I do remember one thing from those days, and that is that Bill and maybe Ron and some of the members of the committee used to have to go down to the bank and sign a $500,000 note so our budget would we'd have enough money to fulfill our budget, because as you know, you have to have a balanced budget. And although I didn't sign the checks, I remember the look in Bill's eye when he had to go down. And everybody, if anybody remembers, Bill Vetch was a very frugal guy, and every nickel was accounted for, and he retired, very successfully, and was able to do all the things that he wanted to do in life. And I always remember that, him telling me that he had to borrow. So that's why I always tried to, again, I was only one of 5. There's no kings here. We're just all one township committee, and I was always there to try to protect that fund, because we're almost using half of it now to balance our budget, correct? Until unanticipated funds come in, like building.
28%.
Pardon me?
Around 28%.
28%. So
be exact.
we didn't have that.
28%.
We didn't have that balance.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm just going to lecture the committee, protect that. Don't. Anna, I want to congratulate you for winning, but now you're part of the business of running Hainesport Township, and it is a business. Nobody runs their business out of an empty pocketbook. So it's bannered around as surplus, and that's a kind of a dirty word. It's not a surplus. It's a savings account. It's a bank account. It's our working capital that the township needs. Again, I don't take credit for any of this stuff. I've been around. I just was here when a lot of it happened. And as everybody knows, I'm leaving office with a balanced budget that no debt. Again, I'm not responsible for it. I just happen to be here. It's kind of like a salesman around when a big account comes in. Everybody takes credit for it. So, I just hope that the committee.
I think it's a little more than that, Bruce.
I hope that,
I think we're a little more important than that.
And, Bowman will tell you, there's very few towns around that, and it's a lot of circumstances, because it's the way Hainesport's run. We're not Mount Laurel, we're not Medford, we're not Morristown, we're Hainesport, and we just need to continue to remember that and run our business, from inside. And I'm very proud of the fact that as party chair, I was able to get Bruce to run. I will get Ken to run. I had to beg Ken to run, and of course Jerry, and of course this year I gave Leela. I gave Leela the column, which I'm very proud that I was able to serve with you folks. The ball's in your court. You're going to need to come up with somebody to chair the Republican Party, towards the end of the year. I can help you with that. And it's all good. Again, I congratulate Leela and, Anna. And
Yeah, you got it.
You pointed at her and said Leela, and that got a little confusing.
I'm trying to think and talk at the same time. It's like walking and chewing gum. I can't do it. But Deborah, I congratulate you. You had a good showing. I told Ann, I said, you keep going at it, you get better. The longer I campaigned, that I applied for this job, I got worse, So I think it was the 6th or 7th, I don't know how many times I've run, 5 or 6. and I kept getting worse at it, so, to reapply for the same job 5 or 6 or 7 times is, got a little stale. Business got in the way, health got in the way, some warehouses got in the way, but, hey, I'm glad we have them, because that's $30 million, again, the business side of our town. $30 million in revenue coming in over the next 30 years puts Hainesport in a real good spot. I think we have enough warehouses, but that's up to you folks to decide. But I'm glad we have the ones we have, because that's really going to help fund the town. So with that, if anybody wants to pay bills, I'm open for that.
I'll make the motion to pay the bills.
I'll second that.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. So we do have an executive session tonight. There's some anticipated litigation. There's some professional services contract. Most of those, the results of that business is going to take place next year, so I do not feel it necessary for me to attend that. So I'm going to go home and relax. But again, it's been an honor serving with everybody. Paula, I really gotten to know you well, and you know how I feel about your energy, and again, in our form of government, we hire, it's a committee form of government, and, we hire an administrator who runs the day-to-day affairs of our town. And I try to stay out of your way and let you do your job, and you've done a great job. And, again, Hainesport has just never been busier with projects. And, John, again, I'm glad you're on our side, not on their side. You've been a great asset to Hainesport.
Thank you.
And I hope the committee keeps you on for as long as you want to stay. So with that, folks, does anybody want to adjourn the regular session?
I make a motion that we adjourn the regular session.
Did you adopt the
I'll
resolution?
second that.
But before we do that, don't we have to make a
Did you adopt the
motion?
resolution to go into closed session yet?
We have
Okay, we
to,
do that first?
yes.
See, I still didn't get it right.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the resolution.
So moved.
Executive session.
So before you vote on it, this is a matter of anticipated litigation and a matter of attorney-client privilege, which also goes into the anticipated litigation. I just asked Paula how long she thinks it will be, maybe 40 minutes, give or take. And I don't think any formal action will come out of it, such as a resolution or anything like that, but I do think you'll give us direction in closed session.
Okay. All right.
Larry Bruce.
Okay.
Who was
Yes, to
second?
you guys. Yeah.
Oh, that was Levinson.
Yeah, good luck to you.
Wait a minute.
All in
All
favor?
in favor?
All in favor?
Yes.
Make a motion that we adjourn regular session.
I'll be around. Yep.
Okay, we did both. We did both.
That was the easiest thing to do. Like turning